Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. The next one comes from Daintila. I'm going to get this really wrong. Dantilus Kilatis. I think that's how it's Kilatis, I think is how it's pronounced. And he writes, "Hi, music tech guy. I'm trying to connect TR8S and an MC707 through the USB ports. Basically, the thing is, USB 1 plays loud, USB 2 plays quietly, USB 3 plays quietly, USB 4 does not play any sound at all. Would you have an idea what could be going wrong?" Oh, these are nightmare questions. Nightmare questions. This was in response to a video I did about the Roland MX-1 USB ports explained in January 2019. Good God, that long ago. Now, the first thing that springs to mind in all of this is the gain on the individual channels set correctly? And you probably say, well, how do you do that? But there is, every one of these channels has a separate individual gain. And if you bought your unit second hand, you've no idea what the guy before you did. And it comes back to one of those things, one of my policies, which is I always do a factory reset. If there's the option to do a factory reset, I will do a factory reset on the machine. Because you don't know what the person before has done. And doing a factory reset, believe me, is the way that you find out how the unit is supposed to work, rather than having to scratch your head for months and months and months trying to work out why it's not working how you think it should. So the first thing I would do is I would check the gain set on the channel. You do that by pressing the select button for the channel, USB 1 to 4 individually, and then you press the gain button on the left hand side of the unit, and the default gain is set at 0, but you can increase it plus 30 or minus 20 dB using the value knob above the gain button. So you can adjust the gain. It possibly that your gain is low on the channel that's producing nothing, and is quiet because the gain is set at 0 and set at a higher value on the channel that's giving you loud noise. As I said, if not, factory reset. I was considering the issue might be advanced mastering controls. Few people use these or know about them, but there are a whole raft of hidden controls on the MX-1 that Roland really haven't published very widely. But these act uniformly across all channels, so if it was affecting one channel, it affect them all. So I kind of discounted that as a possibility. I'm not saying it couldn't still be a possibility, but I was kind of discounting it. But I do think at this point your best option is a factory reset. If you can hear wailing in the background, it's because I'm actually in a Muslim country and it's the middle of Ramadan. And also, I'm filming this on Easter Friday, and I'm not quite sure how Easter plays into the holy, into the Muslim culture, but there's lots of things going on here. We were out yesterday and there were lots of things going on in the temples and the markets, so very, very interesting. Anyway, this next one comes from Leetronics. In response to Roland recurring MX-1 questions, a video I did in November 2021. And he writes, "Thanks for the video. I really enjoyed the heads up, although I do not own that gear except for the MC707. Well, what a lot of hard work. Honestly, why would I not bother with that gear? Why they could not be class compliant is beyond me, and even within their own software strategy, they do not work together properly. Very, very strange. Only Roland can make a straight road turn into spaghetti. Oh, that's classic. I'm gonna cough. What I suspect has happened here is that ARIA and Boutique embedded logic boards are not compatible, capable of sending the class compliant USB commands to the computer. And my understanding is there is a logic board inside the machine which is common to all of the machines. Effectively, they use the same logic sequences for this stuff. And then Roland presents the logic board with an interface for whatever machine it's imitating, if that makes any sense. And then they flash the logic board with the embedded programming that makes the machine act as the machine that you're buying. So, if you go and buy a TB3, or you go and buy a TR09, or you go and buy a JX03, if you look at the board itself, the board is very, very similar, but the interfaces that come off the board are different, and the programming, there's a chip in there that sort of programs those interfaces up. To make these machines class compliant, I suspect this core logic board will need to be changed out, and it's probably an integral part of the circuit. They may be able to flash new code, but I suspect they haven't done this today. Probably means they can't, if you get my drift. The way it's been designed, and you know, the issue we have with this is the Roland Boutique line, if you like, is an easy thing for them to replicate a new interface, program the logic, and then issue it to market. Just before Christmas, we had the JX08 and the JD08 being the JX8P and the JD8000, JD8000 respectively. But if I opened the thing up and looked at the logic board, I suspect it's the same logic board that's been produced in all the other machines. The only one that's different is the SE01. The SE01 is different because it was actually designed by somebody else. Anyway, that's what I think.